Hello everyone, welcome back to Hero Alley. In today's video, we will be discussing some more crazy canceled Marvel movies. This is one of the most popular series on my channel, so I had to revisit it just for you guys. I do think this is the best one I've ever made yet. It's very well written, and there's some great projects on this list that I really think are really interesting. Before we get started, the winner of the Funko Pop giveaway will be announced sometime throughout the video, so stay tuned for that. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. Even if you're a huge Marvel fan like myself, there's still stuff on this list that I guarantee you've never heard of. All sources will be included in the description below. Thanks. X-Men Origins Magneto. In December 2004, production officially began on a solo Magneto film. Sheldon Turner was picked to direct the film, and a script started development. Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart were set to reprise their iconic roles as Magneto and Professor X. Fox planned on using new state-of-the-art de-aging technology in order to make the actors appear younger, as the film was set in mostly 1961. The plot itself was very much a period piece that highly focused on World War II and the rise of the mutants. Magneto's Jewish background was heavily explored, and we would have seen the struggles he faced as a Holocaust survivor and mutant. Charles Xavier would have attempted to calm him down and show him the good nature of life, as he was very angry with humans and everything, but the two heavily disagreed with each other's morals. There wouldn't have necessarily been a comic type of villain in this film, as it's solely focused on Magnus taking his anger out on Nazis and punishing humans for their actions. He would have also rescued people from concentration camps, as well as a couple of mutants. Sabretooth, Mystique, Wolverine, and Beast were all set to have some sort of role throughout the film. Overall, though, the film mainly showcased Magneto fighting his inner demons, as well as his quest for revenge. X-Men Origins Magneto would have been a great way to show fans why exactly Magneto did the things he did and acted the way he acted in the future X-Men films, the 2000s ones. Unlike a lot of these other canceled Marvel films, there is only one reason, or one particular reason, why this film wasn't made: X-Men Origins Wolverine. X-Men Origins Wolverine flopped critically and didn't do well financially, as much as Fox wanted it to. Magneto was originally going to start filming in summer 2008, but the writer's strike delayed it. After that, producers noticed that X-Men Origins Wolverine was having a rough production, so they put Magneto on hold until after Wolverine in order to ensure that this new X-Men Origins series thing was a good idea. Because if you don't know, more characters were actually supposed to get this Origins series treatment, just besides Magneto, but we don't know which specific characters would have got these series films. So I guess you could say that the writer's strike got this film canceled, but I don't want to necessarily put any of the blame on them at all. Another reason why Fox was skeptical about the Magneto solo film had to do with the fact that the de-aging technology simply wasn't there yet. I think we can all agree with that statement, as Fox decided to test the technology out during the end of X-Men Origins Wolverine, and they also used it during X-Men The Last Stand. Many fans heavily criticized the de-aging effects, and for good reason. Fox at the time didn't want to recast Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart in their iconic roles, as they thought that it would propel tons of negative backlash. The film was finally canned in late 2009, however, there was kinda a happy ending to the story. Many of the plot elements were later used in the very well liked X-Men First Class film that was only released a couple of years later. Half a decade later, another scene from Magneto was even used in X-Men Apocalypse, this scene being where Magnus' family is killed and that whole arc that surrounds that. All in all, I'm kinda sad that this film got canceled, as I think the script was legitimately well written. It sucks that this film got canned, but I'm glad X-Men First Class and Apocalypse honored it. Sinister Six. According to the 2014 Sony email hack, Sony was developing a Sinister Six film that was set in the Amazing Spider-Man universe. The script never leaked, but we do know what the majority of the plot would have been about. The movie begins with Harry Osborn and Sandman going on a mission to retrieve an alien symbiote meteorite. A creature would have been guarding the symbiote that for which was too powerful for Harry and Sandman to face. Oscorp then begins recruiting individuals to fight the creature. Spider-Man would have tried to stop the Sinister Six from fighting the peaceful creature, which led to him being an enemy of Oscorp and kind of instigated Spidey versus the Sinister Six. Spidey would have eventually come in contact with the symbiote, and he would have used its power to battle the Sinister Six. Doc Ock would have been the leader of the Sinister Six, but in the third act, he betrays the team to steal the symbiote for himself. Spider-Man would have teamed up with the other members of the Sinister Six in order to defeat a very powerful venomized Dr. Octopus. The Sinister Six was rumored to be apprised of Harry Osborn's Green Goblin, Norman Osborn's Green Goblin, Rhino, and Black Cat, who all first appeared in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Black Cat did appear, but not as her mantle as Felicia Hardy, if you remember that. The other two members members were, of course, Doc Ock and Sandman. Alistair Smythe was going to appear also and replace Doc Ock as the sixth member when he goes rogue. The Lizard would have also made his return, but he would have been an ally to Peter in this movie. The gentleman from the TASM end credit scene would have returned, and he would have had a Nick Fury type of role for the Sinister Six throughout the film. Shailene Woodley's Mary Jane Watson was also going to be coming to the film as well, and Aunt May was also going to have a role in Sinister Six as well. Sinister Six was set to release after The Amazing Spider-Man 3, so we may have had some of these newer characters in that particular film before the debut of this movie. The film was canceled when The Amazing Spider-Man 3 got canned. As we all know, TASM 3 got canceled because Andrew Garfield failed to show up to a meeting due to a bad sickness he had at the time. I think a Sinister Six film hypothetically could work, but the plot seems iffy. A peaceful creature guarding a symbiote on Earth is just weird and not comic accurate. The lineup itself is also bad. Having 2 Green Goblins on the team is stupid considering Peter has a vast, great lineup of villains. They even tease Vulture in one of the post-credit scenes in TASM 2. I gotta say though, a Venomized Doc Ock does seem pretty badass, so I definitely would have liked that idea. Additionally, there was also another script/pitch of a Sinister Six movie that was also leaked in the Sony email hacks that had the Sinister Six in the Savage Land fighting dinosaurs. I don't even know if Sony could use the Savage Land, considering like Disney owns most of those characters associated with that. I don't know if that would have legally been allowed, but yeah, Electro would have also returned from TASM 2 in this particular script, and Vulture was also going to make his debut as well. Spider-Man would have also been in this script as well, and he would have actually, yes, hold up. He would have teamed up with a dinosaur to fight the Sinister Six. It would have been very different from the other Spider-Man films, as a majority of it took place outside of New York in the Savage Land, like I said. The script was canned due to Spider-Man entering the MCU and also with the cancellation of TASM 3. I think a Sinister Six movie, like I said, it definitely could work in my opinion. There's some great characters that are interesting, like Green Goblin and Sandman and all those, but at the same time, I don't think the lineup was necessarily good. I mean, they look more like the Thomas and Tank Engine Reject Squad than anything else. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you guys like that lineup. I really don't. I don't really think it would have got hated on, especially even for 2015 or whenever it was being produced. Our next project I actually kind of like this film, and I'm going to get very hated on for that, and I think the development of the sequel is very interesting. We have Fantastic 2. A couple of months before the release of the 2015 Fantastic Four reboot film, Fox greenlit a sequel to the film, and it even had a specific release date for June 9th, 2017. A script was never made for the film, but we do have some minimal details. No work on the sequel began before the release of the first film, but Fox did plan on making it even with the rocky production of Fantastic. However, everything changed once the first film actually released. As we all know, Fantastic flopped critically and financially, with many calling it the worst comic book film of all time, and it still stands like that to this day, even in 2025. Although even months after the film's release, people just hated it on it, so everyone kind of assumed the film was canned. However, in May 2016, Simon Kinberg confirmed that the film was still in development, but they were taking their time with the project. All of the actors from the first film expressed interest and confirmed that they would come back for the sequel, except Toby Kebbell, who portrayed Doctor Doom in the film. A year later, with no more information, Matthew Vaughn was rumored to take on the sequel, and a new script was officially being written. The film was going to be less dark and more similar to the Avengers movies in terms of comedy, characters, and action. Fox also wanted to use The Incredibles, Pixar's The Incredibles, for an example on how they should portray the sequel. The film was going to focus on Reed and Sue's kids, Franklin and Valeria Richards, who had to save their family from a mysterious threat. A villain was never confirmed for the film or even rumored, but insiders kind of speculated that it may have been a recast of Doctor Doom again, or the one and only Annihilus. Fox was still skeptical about making a sequel to a very much hated film, so the project was once again put on hold. Some producers suggested the inclusion of the Fantastic Four in Deadpool 2. This way fans could see the team in a new light, through a heavily beloved franchise, of course. They would have overtaken the X-Force's role during the film. Fox really liked this idea, but Ryan Reynolds reportedly didn't. He shut it down immediately, and from there the Fantastic team never saw the light of day again. However, many years later, during the production of Deadpool and Wolverine, Ryan actually pitched Disney the inclusion of the Fantastic team in the movie. Kevin Feige reportedly shot this idea down though. Although there may be some happy ending to this potential project, as there is some rumors that Miles Teller, who of course portrays Reed Richards in the film, he may be coming back as the maker in 2025's Fantastic Four First Steps film, as well as Avengers Doomsday possibly, and I could definitely see him being in Avengers Secret Wars come 2027, because if you read the Avengers Secret Wars comic, you would know that the maker has a pretty huge role in that. So yep, in my opinion, let me know if you would have liked to see the Fantastic sequel. I don't know. I can't necessarily say the film was good, but I just have like a little nostalgia factor for it because I remember going to see it opening day back in 2015. The many different versions of Deadpool 3 is what we have up next, and a lot of them are very, very interesting. Before Disney bought Fox, and even before the release of Deadpool 2, Fox began work on a third film for the one and only Wade Wilson. Several scripts and pitches were made for the film. Pitch number 1, in no particular order. Before the release of Deadpool and Wolverine, Ryan Reynolds revealed that in one script, Deadpool, Domino, Cable, and Russell were all going to go on a road trip to Canada in order to retrieve a serum from an abandoned Weapon X facility that brings people back to life. Ajax was the one who was going to make the serum, and Wade wanted the serum to bring Vanessa back to life. The rest of the characters needed the serum to bring back their loved ones as well. Mr. Sinister, Lady Deathstrike, Omega Red, and Juggernaut would have been the villains throughout the film. Vanessa would have been revived, and she would have taken on a new personality and became copycat from the comics. This script seems like okay, I guess. There's one major obvious flaw though: too many powerful villains. Omega Red and Mr. Sinister are Thanos level threats to the X-Men. Fox would have had to nerf them in terms of power, which would have deteriorated their characters. Pitch number 2. In 2019, Ryan Reynolds pitched a Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe storyline to Kevin Feige. Ryan also talked to Michael Bay about possibly directing the film. Disney shot the idea down for unknown reasons. We also don't know what particular universe Deadpool would have killed. I don't really necessarily like him killing the Fox X-Men films, because that would just blatantly shit on the Fox X-Men films. And I think we can all agree that the Fox X-Men films are pretty decent all in all. So for Disney to just shit on them like that, that would have been kind of a bad idea and probably pretty hated in the Marvel community. Next up, we have pitch number 3. Ryan pitched a story to Disney that had Wade Wilson going after the killer who killed Bambi. It's pretty obvious why Disney shot this idea down, but I guess in an alternative universe, Bambi would have been MCU canon. Pitch number 4. Before Disney bought Fox, there were plans for a very low-budget Deadpool sequel that would have seen Wade and Doppelganger going on a road trip. It would have been a comedy movie that featured minimal action, and the budget was reportedly only $4 million. Fox was skeptical about the script as they thought that fans would be disappointed with it. Fox actually asked Hugh Jackman if he would return as Wolverine for the film, but he declined due to the whole Logan and him concluding his story arc with that. Pitch number 5. Another idea Brian pitched to Disney allowed Deadpool fixing the events of Thor: The Dark World. Him and Thor would have teamed up and changed the MCU canon forever. No word on why that particular script was canned. But the next one is also kind of similar to the last one. This had Deadpool going to the past Infinity Saga MCU movies and tinkering with the everything that happened in those films. And it basically would have been like Deadpool in Avengers Endgame, Infinity War, Age of Ultron. And he would have really changed the course of the MCU like forever. And a lot of stuff would have been retconned. I can see why they didn't go with that, because they didn't want to tarnish the Infinity Saga's legacy just because the Infinity Saga was done so perfectly. So I'm kind of almost glad they didn't make that one. The last pitch is kind of a cool idea in my opinion. Disney actually kind of liked it. It consisted of Deadpool being on the show The Voice. He would have gone through a long journey to sit on the famous The Voice red chair. Tons of characters from the past Marvel projects would have been in this version and appeared during the voice scenes. It may have even been a musical for all we know. No exact confirmation on why the storyline was canned, but maybe the showrunners for the actual The Voice show didn't want to associate themselves with a rated R project. Ryan Reynolds actually did confirm that he pitched over 20 versions of Deadpool 3 to Disney, but unfortunately not all of them have leaked yet, so let me know in the comments which one you like the best. Alright, for now, what you all have been waiting for, the Marvel Funko Pop giveaway winner. Drumroll please. Who's going to win it? If you are interested in more giveaways, I'm going to be having more in the future for 1,000 subscriber giveaways, so winner, 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 chicken dinner. Kitty Studios, great job. You have won the Marvel Funko Pop giveaway. I will be contacting you soon. So up next, in case they do not reply, here we go. Marvel Funko Pop giveaway, 3 Spideys. Come on, come on, come on. Here we go. Congratulations, Kid Flash. You have been the second winner in this Marvel Funko Pop giveaway in case Kitty Studios does not answer. All in all, that is going to conclude the video for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, as that would legitimately make my day. I am cooking up some great content. I am pre-writing Avengers Doomsday. I was going to have it out in December, but unfortunately Marvel pulled a quick one on me and told me that Chris Evans and Haley Atwell were going to reprise their roles, so now I got to implement them into the script. But I am working on that project, and I think it's going to be really, really good. So stay tuned for that. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.